Here we go.
And marker. I'm Big Mike.
I'm just Fergy Ferguson.
And we're back once again with another episode of movie-related things and such.
And such as things.
And such and things.
And Mo.
And Moses, here again. He's like, what? I don't know if you called it on camera. He's like, oh, go, what do you guys want? I'm so tired. Alright. So, I just watched a movie recently. It was called The Founder.
Oh!
With Michael Keaton. Have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't.
It's on Netflix.
It's about
Watch
McDonald's,
it.
right?
It was so awesome, man. Actually, it was so interesting, like how it started out and just went to shit. Like, it was just like the burgers were actually they looked like real fucking burgers. And I would love to know. I'm actually going to look this up after this episode. I'm going to look it up and see if there's anybody around who knows what an old McDonald's burger tasted like. And I wanted to see if there's a way to make it because I want to know what that tasted like because the burgers are just. They're nothing now. You know what I mean?
Lightly greased up frickin' cardboard cute circles on some really greasy ass buns that somehow don't decompose.
Exactly. And that's the thing with this movie. Like, they talk about how they originated the idea of fast food. Yeah. And there's a really awesome scene in the show. Like, Michael Keaton's like a salesman. He's trying to sell these milkshake things, machines. But he goes around and he's like, and he plays Raycroft. And he goes around, he's like, he hears about this McDonald's chain. He's like, oh, you know, not chain, but he hears about this restaurant. He's like, I'll check it out. So he goes up there and he orders a burger, fries, and a drink. He's like, I'll get a burger, fries, and a soda. He's like, okay, that'll be, what was it, like 35 fucking cents? Something stupid like that. So he's like, yeah, we can pay him 35 cents. He puts the money, I think he had change or something, puts the money in his pocket. Here you go, sir. Here's your order. Like, what are you talking about? I just ordered. He's like, yeah, I know, sir. No, that can't be. No, burger, fry, hamburger, fries, and a shake. Or whatever, a drink. That can't be right. And it's like, and he hands him a bag, and he's like, where do I eat? Like, wherever you want, sir. In your car, or on a bench, whatever you want. Because at the time, and this is weird, because Council's like, what? Like, this is what we do now. Like, because it seems so weird because we deal with this all the time now. But they really started the concept of this, where it was like, and I know where this is Mergy movies, but I'm talking about McDonald's, but anyway, they basically started a concept where they thought, okay, washing dishes costs money, silverware costs money, because the drive-ins would have silverware and everything, right? So they just basically said, all your papers here, you just throw everything in the garbage, and that's how that started. Anyway, and then they worked on a system where a burger could come out to you, a whole meal and stuff, in 30 seconds. This whole, like Nick Offerman and, oh no, I totally forgot the name of the guy I want to talk about. Anyway, the other McDonald brother, while I look up the name of the other guy, they developed this system, and that's what it was today. So anyway, I'm watching this movie, and the guy that I can't remember the name of, which is a shame, because this is why I'm talking about this episode, is such an underrated actor. Like, for example, we were talking about Andy Serkis.
Yeah. Like,
and how underrated he is, and how he should be honored a lot more for his stuff.
Yeah.
Because of what he does. That's what it is. His name is John Carroll Lynch.
Oh, the guy played Drew's brother.
Yes, I know. That's what I always go to too when I think about it.
On the Drew Carey show.
Here's just the guy that just played Drew Carey's brother. Did he end up being gay in that show?
He's a cross-dresser. He married Mimi, though.
That's right. Oh, fuck, I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Wow. Totally forgot about
he was
that.
straight. He just liked to wear women's clothes. And
can you say you're straight, though, if you like Mimi? But anyway. Besides the point. Anyway, he was good on the show, whatever. Yeah. On the Drew Carey show. But he is one of those people that is so underrated to me. Have you ever seen the movie Zodiac?
Yes, I was going to say, his heart in Zodiac.
That is the turn for me that showed me who he really can be. Because, for those of you who don't know, they actually had one main suspect. For this movie, Zodiac's obviously based off the Zodiac killer of that time, right? And Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal are in it. Actually, really good cast, really good show.
One of David Fincher's really good movies.
David Fincher, totally forgot. David Fincher did that. Totally forgot about that. Anyway, so they go and find this man. There is an actual suspect that he ended up dying, and they don't know to this day that who officially is, but there's a 90% leaning curve towards this guy, and that was who John Carroll Lynch was playing. Can't remember that. I should look up and see what the actual name of that Arthur Lee Allen. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Arthur Lee Allen. So he was playing that character in the show, and he didn't have much screen time because they didn't know who the Zodiac was, right?
Yeah.
So, but then when they go and interview this guy, that is literally one of the best, scenes that I've ever. One of my top 50 scenes, or 30. Mm-hmm. One of my 30 scenes. Freaking Crush is killing me with the burping. Anyway, in movie history, because they go and interview this guy, and he's just and knowing him from his goofy roles before and stuff is just that slight turn.
When you see a funny guy do a serious part, it grabs you, and yeah, like when he's like, even if I was the Zodiac killer, I would tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you motherfucker. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. And it was, he was just so good. He was also good he was great in The Founder. Actually, really awesome in The Founder. And he also was in, what's that other movie? He was in Fargo. Had a small role, but I just love him and everything. Like, he was Margie's husband. The nicest guy in the face of the fucking earth. You know what I mean? Like,
that was a great movie. I loved him in that.
I got in a little tiny argument with someone on Facebook because they said they didn't like Fargo. I'm like, you're nuts. This movie is so weird. You just can't.
The Coen brothers.
I know. I know.
They make weird movies, but it doesn't mean that they're bad movies. And and that is another. Okay. John Carroll Lynch is amazing, underrated actor. Some of the actors I'm going to name are bigger names, but they're really underrated for how good they can be.
Yes.
One guy who, like we talked about, Andy Serkis, he's a bigger name, but he's underrated for even how much credit he does get.
Oh, of course. And he's supposed to be a main villain in the Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him in his full capacity because we got a taste of it in Ultron.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more because I love
It's Ulysses Claw.
Yeah, Ulysses Claw. He's going to have his fucking arm into a claw or some shit like that. So yeah, anyway.
Other guy is John Goodman.
Yes, man. Oh, totally. I just watched 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That was where I was going. And talking about the Coen brothers and him as Walter on The Big Lebowski.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Big Lebowski. I don't know a lot of you are going to crucify me for that, but he's great.
He steals every scene he's in.
He steals everything he's in. Yeah.
But in 10 Cloverfield Lane,
that was, I think, if I have to, I have to go over his career one more time, but just from the things I've seen and whatever, I have to say this is probably second, if not the best role of his career for 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Another role he did I really loved was Argo.
See, I've not seen Argo yet.
Argo is amazing. It really shows Ben Affleck's ability as a director.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see that. I really would.
Him and Alan Arkin.
Yes, Alan Arkin.
They have this great chemistry as two really sort of B-movie producers.
Right.
And Ben Affleck's whole CIA plan to get these Americans out of war-torn Iran is to go in and pretend to be a film crew making a fake movie. Yeah. And Alan Arkin and John Goodman are the producers of this fake movie. So they have to get all of the real funding and everything so that when they show up, they can show the paperwork and say, yes, we are making a movie.
Yeah, I watched the preview for it and I wanted to see it, but again, one of those movies is just, you don't have time for every movie.
And the scene that they're in together is it's just going to be a stupid movie. If it's not going to actually get made. If I'm going to make a fake movie, it's going to be a fake hit.
It almost sounds like a real version of The Producers with a musical or whatever. So yeah, just if I'm going to make this movie, it's going to bomb. I want to make sure it's a bomb. In this case, it's a hit for him. But yeah, John Goodman, and even in smaller roles not smaller roles, but TV roles, for example, when he was on Roseanne. Mm-hmm. Up until recently, I didn't really follow Roseanne that much, but I didn't know that, spoiler alert, his character died on the show. Yeah, the ending is one of the all-time... It's like the Seinfeld ending. It's one of the worst endings in television history, the final episode. Yeah, it's all fake or something like that? What it is she after he died, she was writing a book about her life,
and she changed the ending that he somehow sort of lived on, and she imagined what it would be like if he was still alive. And that was the last scene. She basically said, it's kind of like in this movie where you wake up and it's like, oh, it was all a dream.
Yeah, that's kind of the easy way out, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Although I will have to disagree with the Seinfeld ending, because when I first watched it, I didn't like the Seinfeld ending when it happened. Mm-hmm. But actually now, I just this is probably like the third or fourth time I've been through the series. Like maybe like a year or two ago, I watched it with Candace because she didn't see any of the episodes. Mm-hmm. So we watched them all. And I gotta say, after I was watching it, plus I listened to what what Jason Alexander and what Jerry said about why they ended it the way they did. They are the assholes to all of these people throughout their lives. And they are just interjected into their lives and they fuck up their lives somehow. Now, they are the main focus of this episode. And now they get to put these assholes away for the rest of their life. I think it's just poetic justice is what it is. It may have not been like a very satisfactory ending, but what else could you have done? Like Jerry gets with Elaine. Like what would you have done?
I don't know. I don't know how you could have made it better. I'm just saying in the public consciousness, it seemed like that. It's an ending. It's for me. I looked at it.
Better than Michael calling someone an N-word.
Yeah. No, I looked at when a show is just you're really getting into a show, it's on like 4th, 5th season, and then just suddenly it's canceled. Yeah. And then the last episode is the last episode, and it's kind of like, well, it's just an episode. Yeah. That's what that episode felt like.
I get you how that can. Because it doesn't really cover.
It doesn't really feel like an ending.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
So
I don't kill if they did like a 10-episode thing to fully end it off.
Like if they got everybody together, Netflix put it together to do like a kind of like what they did with Gilmore Girls. They get a 10-episode arc. Each episode is like a mini movie because they're like, each episode is like an hour and a half long.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
So it's like. Okay, it's like you made 10 mini movies.
So you basically did 20 or 30 episodes, I guess, if you break them down to half an hour. Yeah. But yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
that. But yeah, going back to that, so you were saying about what were you talking about?
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman.
Holy segue. Anyway.
But yeah, like John Goodman is a really underrated actor. I find when he is on screen, he generally steals most scenes he's in.
Mm-hmm. No, I really loved him in 10 Cloverfield Lane again. Like you don't really know what to think of this guy, and then you know what the history of like the Cloverfield movies are, so you're like, well, he's right. There's something weird outside, but then it leads you through lots of twists and turns, and then he goes from like 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty.
It's tension.
It's tension.
Tension.
The tension at its best, and he was awesome in it. And yeah, no, it was what a way to go though. I won't give away what happens to him, but what a way to go. But anyway, but yeah, what else we obviously talk about Andy Serkis. Who else could we name that? You know what I'm going to say? This is another big name actor who does these stupid fucking movies, but this guy should stick to serious roles, and that is Adam Sandler.
Yes, when you see him in things like, was it Punch Drunk Love?
Oh yes, Punch Drunk Love.
Click.
Click is probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Just the moment when, spoiler alert, he loses. Face it, this whole show should just be called Spoilers, just like that Kevin Smith show, because we're going to talk about it. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. But anyway, the whole scene with his dad is just heartbreaking.
Oh, when he
and you can feel it, man. It's like it was actually his dad. You know what I mean?
It was actually his dad. Another scene where it's like, where you feel it, I felt it a little bit too, is when his kids are talking to
Sean Astin.
Fucking was
Speedo
Samwise Gamgee's there.
Speedo dude.
And they're more close to him, and they love him more as their father than and it's not like Adam Sandler's character before he got the remote was a deadbeat. He loved his kids, and he tried, but his work, trying to get ahead and all that, and then the power of the remote, he just, like, all of that, it just...
And the movie as a whole, like, it has, like, obviously it has that comic relief, but it's not like a weird, over-the-top comic relief, you know? It's not like, you know, it's not like his normal stuff, you know? Like, it's
really stupid.
yeah.
It's like like where he David Hasselhoff plays his boss. And he pauses David Hasselhoff and just starts punching the shit out of him.
Then he farts in his face. He's like, sorry. I gotta say, David Hasselhoff's pretty funny in that show too. He's like, oh, I taste shit. He goes, and he's like, did you put shit in my lunch? He goes, and then later on, even when he's talking to Sean Astin, he's pissed off. He's trying to show her that he loves her. He writes a note on a napkin, but he has to kick him in the balls like 10 times before he does it. Like things like that. It has those comedic breaks, but then it fucking reels you in with the heart, man. And overall, I literally think that is his best movie. But Spanglish he was also good in, and I just saw, what did I just see of his? I hear there's another movie that he's made that just came out, but I haven't seen it yet, that they say he might actually be nominated for an Oscar for. Like, he's that good in it.
Yeah. If he, like some actors, when they, like comedic actors, when they take the time to do serious things, they can be very good.
Oh, yeah. I just think he needs to get away from the comedy genre, period. Yeah. Like over-the-top comedies.
Yeah.
Like, just stick to your drama comedies or whatever.
Yeah. And, yeah, he needs to reassess his career. Like, some guys, when they need to hit a reset button on their career. And, you know, what was working before isn't working now.
No, exactly.
But, you know, Adam Sandler can be a great actor. Another one that's a little over the top, but it also has some heart to it, Anger Management.
Yes, I agree. Yes, it is Adam Sandler doing his thing, but he is also still a serious character. Like I say, it's not like, I'm not saying I don't like shows like The Waterboy or all that stuff.
Or Mr. Deeds.
Yeah, Mr. Deeds, he's also kind of serious in that too. But like the first time we ever saw him do something like interesting like that was Big Daddy.
Yeah. Like
his first sort of serious / it was a comedy obviously, but he was serious in it. He wasn't like a total goofball, and it was it was a nice it was a relief for him. And then he goes and does like Don't Mess with the Zohan and all these other shows, but he needs to switch genres. Period. If he just switched over and just started doing comedies or dramas and stuff. Oh man, he'd be winning. I guarantee you, in my lifetime, I probably will see Adam Sandler win an Oscar, or at least be nominated. Maybe not go as far as win.
Hell, we saw Matthew McConaughey win an Oscar.
That's true.
All right.
Yeah, what did he win for? For
Dallas
Buyers Club. Yeah, that's right. You never know who's going to be nominated. Sometimes, like you always see the heavy hitters.
Cher.
Yeah, Cher for God's sake. Just gonna shit on Moses. But anyway, yeah, Cher for God's sake, or
Nicolas Cage,
or for example, like because you always get there's always fucking Meryl Streep's fucking nominated sometimes. And no offense, the role she had last year, she did not need to be nominated for. I could have probably named like 3 more people who could have been nominated better than her. But yeah, it's just, and don't get me wrong, Meryl Streep's a great actress, but holy, every year. But anyway.
Yeah. Other guys I think who are underrated, we'll just throw some quick names out here. Bruce Greenwood.
Bruce Greenwood,
why? Double Jeopardy, Captain Pike from the new Star Trek movies.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yes, he plays the asshole husband in Double Jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's good too, yeah. Okay.
Very underrated
actor.
One guy I love when he does comedy, but he can actually do some great serious work, Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes, I agree. You know what? Actually, there was a thing going around that he would have made, I think would make a great Riddler.
He would.
I think he could pull off the serious psychoticness. Although, I just read a thing about what the Tim Burton Batman movie would have been after Returns.
Yeah.
And man, that would have been a fucking crazy movie. I wish they would have made it. They got to put it on comic book form or something. Yeah. They had, Robin Williams was finally going to be tapped to play Riddler.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was going to be back. And they had Brad Dourif playing Scarecrow. Chucky. Chucky's fucking playing Scarecrow. I'm like, dude, I want to see this movie, man.
Yeah.
And Marlon Wayans was going to play Robin. That's probably the most off thing.
Yeah.
He's still getting residual checks for that. He's still getting paid for something he never did. It really pisses me off, you know? He better freaking put on a Robin uniform here one of these days. Just
go to Comic-Con dressed as Robin. Like, wear the Burt Ward Robin costume.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd like to see that. You know, like, that's a... Yeah. Fucking... It would be awesome just to see even a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Just to see what that movie would have been like. But they should just do a comic series, because they do have a comic series of Batman 66. They should just do Batman 89. Because it would just be awesome. You know, like, show all those weird... Like what Tim Burton's style was, and have all the villains that we never got to see, like Tim Burton's style. It would be great.
Tim Burton's version of Bane would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. What would he have done with Bane?
Or Poison Ivy.
Oh, Poison Ivy would have been... Oh, I know who would have played Poison Ivy. Guess.
Helen Bonham Carter.
Exactly right. Like he puts him... He's still married to her, right?
I think so.
So yeah, fucking puts his wife and everything. That makes sense, I guess. But yeah, I guess we'll end on that note. There's a lot of underrated actors, and there's a lot of overrated ones. Maybe we'll get into another episode. But, yeah, just like John Carroll Lynch, Andy Serkis.
John Goodman. Bruce Greenwood.
You know what, actually, who gets some credit but doesn't get enough, I think, either? He gets a lot of credit, but not as much as I think he should, is Gary Oldman.
Oh, God, no kidding.
Like, he's been nominated... Was he nominated for Dracula?
He was nominated for Dracula. He was also Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Yes, that's right. So he has been nominated, so he is getting his due. But has he won an Oscar yet?
Yes, he won for Tinker Tailor Soldier.
Did he win? Yes. Okay, good. But
I think he won for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, here's one I'll touch on that I think we touched on the Oscar episode, but I'll mention it again. He's not necessarily the greatest actor, but I'm glad that he finally got his achievements known, which was Jackie Chan. He's unbelievable. And that new movie he's in, have you seen it?
The Foreigner.
It's like fucking Asian Taken. Sorry, that sounds racist, but it's holy shit. Does that look good?
It does.
Like,
and Pierce Brosnan is the bad guy.
Oh yeah, man, Bad James Bond, sweet. No, that looks great. Oh, another movie I want to quickly talk about that has nothing really to do with this, but looks weird, is Downsizing. Have you seen the preview for that?
No.
I'm going to show you after this.
Another one I want to see, speaking of weird James Bond other roles, Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky, yeah, right. I haven't heard much about it. But...
Logan Lucky is basically the redneck version of Ocean's 11.
Sweet. They are doing another Oceans, you know.
Yeah, it's all with women. They're Ghostbustering it.
I'm all for interjecting things, but if you specifically do that, you just look like an asshole. And if you bring in a female Slimer, I'm killing you because they did. I was just like, why?
The idea we had. Okay, we'll continue this in our own private time.
You know what?
Bye.
Here's our next one of our future episodes. We're gonna fix Ghostbusters for you. We're gonna fix it. All right. Until next time, I'm Big Mike.
I'm Justin Fergy Ferguson.
And I ain't afraid no ghost. Teaser.
Tall Boy sucks. Their version wasn't very good.
Exactly.